the throwing people under the bus, the way that he handles himself in front of the media and with the media really deemed his fate, however you say that.
He came in with such an attitude, like an arrogance, like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it different. I'm going to be more transparent. Dude, you're an idiot. Like, get the hell out of here. You probably should have taken some lessons from Belichick and maybe shut your mouth a little bit because you sound like a moron.
And that's
It's time!
Welcome to the Probably Wrong Podcast. Tony, Mike, Dave, and 3 Christmas gifts.
Yeah, it's nice, right? You know?
I'm not a big Christmas gift kind of guy.
Yeah.
I don't like receiving gifts.
Oh, this isn't the show for you then.
Yeah. It just always makes me feel awkward. Like, if I want something in real life, I just buy it.
Yeah.
So when people say, what do you want for Christmas? I'm like, yeah, just leave me alone. That's what I want.
I get that. But I don't, so... I hate opening Christmas gifts in front of people.
Awkward.
So we're going to make it real awkward tonight as we open these gifts in front of our tens and tens and tens of fans.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I guess. I mean, they're here, so we're going to have to open... What? Are we going to open them first, or are we going to talk sports first?
You already get the fans rolling in. Kenny Andrade.
Andrade. Yeah, my guy. What is he saying? He wants to rub my nipples for Christmas.
We had the mistletoe hanging above.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? Let's start off the show with a little Christmas spirit, and let's see what we got here.
Dave's drinking a beer. You got a rum and Coke. I got a water.
Diet root beer.
Ooh, interesting, huh? Dave's got a Red Bull Vodka. Love it.
I love root beer.
All right, so what are we going to do this all at the same time? This is weird.
Yeah, I know, but you know what? We're going to go for it.
All right. Oh. Should we say who these are from?
I believe the card says it's from Santa.
From Santa Claus, all right.
But I would believe it's a Santa DeShulo. Oh, man, these are great.
I'm liking this.
Oh, yeah. Nice little Probably Wrong podcast mugs.
Oh, I like it. I'm a fan.
These are great.
All right. You know what? I take back everything I said about Christmas. This might be one of my favorite Christmas gifts of all time.
I'm going to tell you, the opening of all these, when people listen to the actual podcast...
No scratchies? What's a Christmas gift without scratchies? Oh, all right. This is fantastic.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Santa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Santa DeShulo.
I had no idea.
Yeah. And we're all laughing.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm really going to have to edit all these noises out. These are great.
Oh, this is fantastic.
That's awesome. All right. Thank you. Wow.
You're giggling, Snellgrove.
I'm always giggling, you know?
Yeah.
This show makes me laugh. When I listen back, people are like, what is he listening to?
We're probably talking about a Matty P take.
Yeah.
All cracking up. Well, the Yankees are really good defensively.
We'll get into that later, but
Yes,
I can see why Matty P is going to be a little bit excited this year. So
we'll save that for later.
All right.
Santa Tina, thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you. It's pretty cool.
That is cool. Wow. I had no idea.
Well, all right.
Pretty happy about this. All of a sudden, I like Christmas.
Now I don't even know what to go into now. You know, you don't like Christmas? We've talked about this
It's
before.
awkward. I'm not a fan. And plus, my brothers come up. One of my brothers is up today. The other one comes up tomorrow. There ends up being 1 million people at my house. My mother brought over a ton of food, a ton of cookies, crap I don't like to eat, but if it's in my house, I'm going to eat it. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
See, I love it. I have, what? I think we're going to have 26, 27 people here for Christmas this year.
You love it?
I do. It's the one thing a year that I do that I don't mind the crowd. I mean, because in the beginning, I'm very much concentrated on making all my apps, making everything. I'm kind of saying my hellos. I'm busy. I'm focused. And then by the time dinner's ready, like now I'm ready to relax, and it's all right. Like I don't know. I just enjoy it. The family's here. It's just I mean, it's great. I'm happy about it.
How long can you go without taking a nap? Do you nap on that day?
No, I don't have time to.
You don't have time to, so you're just up.
Yeah, just up.
Entertaining and...
Kids are up at like 4:30 in the morning looking for Santa, and then it's just go.
Sounds miserable.
Go to like crash like 8 o'clock. This is why I take the next day off from work every year.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Can't do it.
I don't blame you
But
at
we
all.
started this tradition because I didn't want to be rustling around the kids everywhere. You know, I wanted to be able to just keep everybody at home and just say, everybody, just come here. I mean, it works out. You know,
You do have the house for it.
yeah, I just don't. I don't know. I just don't want to be the people like, all right, guys, open your gifts. Now we got to go.
Now we got to go to Aunt Joey's house.
Yeah,
Of
Yeah.
whatever.
And you know, all day all they want to do is get home and replay with their gifts.
Right,
you
right,
know?
right.
So, and then just put the games on everywhere. It's just a great time. Eating food all day long.
Oh, you got basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoy Christmas time. It's a lot different now. I don't see the kids on Christmas Day, but we spend time with Tina's family, which is great. It's just
Better be great. She gave us these cups.
I love the love the day.
You better not bad talk Tina ever again, Dave.
No.
I never have anything bad to say about Tina.
I hope
She's
not.
good to me. I can't complain.
Yep.
So no, for me it's a good, like, it's 2 days. I get Christmas Eve. I do, the family comes over our house. The kids are there, and then Christmas Day we go down to Rhode Island, and it's a good day then too.
To go to the Foxy? No? Who the hell goes to the Rhode Island and doesn't go to the Foxy?
He married in
that
Rhode
even-
Island.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
right.
That's, Tina's from Rhode Island. That explains a lot.
Speaking of
The Foxy.
no, Rhode Island, your buddy has a card show.
Yeah, yep. January
Smithfield again.
25th, I think it is.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Same day as where the Probably Wrong podcast outing of UFC. I'm not UFC. Cage Titans 69.
All right. Plymouth.
Yep. So
I might have to go check that out though.
yeah, it's a good time. I highly recommend. I post about it all the time in our page. He puts on a great event. Check it out. Sports. I'm going to hack the name, but Joshua Hoy. Just look him up. It's all in. And he puts on a great event. There are tons of tables. There's everything: cards, memorabilia. I mean, and especially if you have kids, it's a great place to bring your kids. Because I was just blown away by how the kids were basically treated, just like, hey, take this, don't worry about it. Oh, you don't have any money, just take this. I felt like saying, hey, tell them you want that Mahomes rookie.
Yeah. That Mickey, that
How about
53
something
man.
for Dad over here?
No, but they did. I mean, everybody at those shows were priced to move.
Yeah.
They wanted to move their product, and I like shows like that. I don't like going to shows. I'm a big sneaker guy, and I hate going to shows where guys are just trying to make a buck. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, this is not fun. Like, I came here to wheel and deal and buy product and move. And this card show that he puts on, it's like that.
Yeah.
They want the cash. They don't want to take all their product home. They're not going to take a huge loss, but they want to move.
No, they're
their
into
stuff.
it for the fun
And
of
there's
this.
a lot. I mean, I couldn't believe the amount of tables that he puts on. It's a good show. So I'll post more about it. You'll see it in the Probably Wrong page. Dave won't see it.
Well, I'll see it.
But
Yeah.
Tony will see it,
Yeah.
and we'll
Tina
share it
will
over.
see it. Yeah. Dave's our weakest link.
No social media swagger at all.
No.
But yeah, so there'll be
Speaking
no.
of a lack of swagger, can we talk about the Patriots?
Oh, hold on! You just
Okay.
reminded me here. We're talking about Christmas and swagger.
What do we have here?
There's a little something.
I don't do gifts, Nelly.
All I
don't
gotta
do
say
gifts,
is
Nelly.
this is not just a gift. This is
All right.
something that I can guarantee nobody else has.
Okay.
Either of you. And we said swagger. It just reminded me.
All right.
So. But wait till you open the names and show everybody who's on that jersey.
Ooh, what do we have here?
This is what I love about Christmas. I love to
You're
give
a
gifts.
giver. I like this.
Oh, we got a Luke Cornett jersey.
All
right
right, yeah. Ooh. Who do we have here?
Oh boy!
If I can get a Dino
you gotta-
Raja.
No, that's not Dino Raja right there.
I gotta say it must be
What do we have?
Kada.
Yeah! Nice. That's fantastic. I love it. Wow. This has been the best Christmas of my life. Kada, Portuguese Man of the Year. Besides
man.
myself.
And we
Nice.
still got a week to go, Tony. I mean,
That's
this
it.
could get better.
No, it's going to get much worse. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Can it get any better than this? The Shulo? No, it can't. Thank you, Mikey.
No problem.
Thank you, sir.
Fantastic. Kada.
All right.
I love it.
Wow. This is one hell of a night.
Yeah, it's been great.
Now let's take it down a notch with what we just saw with the Patriots in Arizona last week.
God, I hate this team.
Well,
can I say it's not really that I hate the team as much. It's the coaching staff, Tony.
Oh, I hate them.
They're really
hate them all.
It's killing me.
right.
They're killing the team. They're killing everything. The coaching is so bad. And are they going to do something about it? No.
I think this was the game that might have actually got him fired. That might have actually got Mayo fired.
Hope so.
It was
I hope so.
After the game, wasn't it? The comments.
That didn't help.
Not even that, and they're all focused on the Crafts up in the luxury box, saying that was some awful play calls. You could read Jonathan's lips. I mean, it doesn't look good this week, and it just. It doesn't look good every week, but this week in particular,
it was bad, and I feel like there's been a lot of talk lately that Jonathan is not a fan of Mayo. This was a Bob Kraft thing, and Jonathan is not on board. And if he's going to be the one that takes over this team when Bob Kraft can't do it anymore,
which is now,
it probably is now. But it's so bad. It just hurts to even think about. The announcers were saying during the broadcast how bad the Patriots are. Their receivers suck. I mean, I know they can't say the word suck on TV, but they were saying it
without saying it. It was pretty bad.
They wanted to. Yeah. It was like, I'd never heard a broadcast like that before. I mean, I remember years ago, I want to say it was Kansas City came in for a Monday night game or Sunday night game, and the announcers for that game had to talk up some quarterback for Kansas City against Brady. And they were like, what the hell are we supposed to do tonight to talk about this guy? And they everything was positive, though.
Yeah.
And then this game, you listen to these guys, and this is like, the receivers are terrible. The worst receivers in the league.
Drake May has no weapons.
Offensive
Nobody
line.
can catch the ball. They can't get after a quarterback.
Oh, it's terrible. Horrible.
There were two bright sides of this game, though.
They're only two good players, right?
Say Jake chimes in yet. Drake May looked awesome. Drake May still looks, just the overall calmness in the pocket.
Looks like a
and I got to give it to the guy because I crap on him every week. But you know what? Gonzo had a good game.
He looked locked in.
Gonzalez had, by far, his best game of the season. He was man-to-man coverage a lot with Harrison out there. Locked him down. Even when Harris was able to make a catch, he was knocking the ball out.
Yeah.
This, to me, was like, all right, this is what I want to see out of him. If you guys are going to claim that he's the guy that he is, this is what I want to see week in and week out.
But that makes you wonder, like, should he be playing man every week against the top receiver?
Yeah.
Because they haven't done that with him all year. And a lot of these breakdowns and coverage are the zone coverage, and the other team's able to exploit it.
Yeah, but if you go man with no pass rush, no,
it leaves
these quarterbacks
everyone else gets open.
Right.
Well, you got to the other positive. I shouldn't say positive is the wrong way to phrase this. The other takeaway of this game is that they were able to do man-to-man coverage all day with Harrison and Gonzo because the rest of the receivers are weak. They didn't have to worry about Michael Wilson. They didn't have to really worry. I mean, McBride's a great tight end, but they don't throw to him in the end zone. The guy's got 89 catches this year and no touchdowns.
They were making fun of him for that, too, during the game. That was hilarious.
So it was easy this week for them to go, you're going to do man-to-man, and the rest of this team stinks, so we're going to figure out as we go.
Yeah.
So.
And Matt's saying Travis Hunter as a shutdown corner. If they're lucky enough to draft Travis Hunter, he's going to play wide receiver.
No, he won't.
He wants to get paid. He's going to play wide receiver.
He's much stronger at defensive back, and anyone who drafts him in the top round, where he's going to go, it's going to be defensive back.
We need him as a receiver.
We don't need him at all, Dave. We need an offensive line.
No, but if we're going to draft him, we need him as a receiver. And he's even talked about the possibility of playing with Drake May. So I think he's leaning towards wide receiver. He'll play corner a little bit, but if he wants to get paid, he's going to play wide receiver.
So I just don't think that he will get paid because I don't think he's that great of a wide receiver. No, he's good. So let's not get misconstrued when I say that. Travis Hunter is good as a wide receiver.
Mike is saying he sucks.
Yeah, that's what it comes off. But as a defensive back, he's an elite talent.
No,
He's a
elite
lockdown
all the way
cornerback.
around.
As a wide receiver, he's okay. The other wide receiver, and I just had the name on the tip of my tongue, had a better year. Like Travis Hunter, if he was just a wide receiver, wouldn't be in all of these conversations we're having right now. It's their other guy, and now you're going to make me look it up here.
Well, I'd do it, but
yeah,
I have no
yes,
idea.
Matt, I agree. He's a stronger defensive back, and he would be the guy. And then, as Matt brings up the point here, T. Higgins, we're all over that as your wide receiver option.
Yeah. If they can just get some offensive line help.
Yeah, that's
Which
gets a lot of help.
It feels like it wouldn't take much to help this offensive line because they're so bad that you could bring in.
It wouldn't take much, just 5 new players.
No, but you could bring in BC's offensive line right now, and they'd probably do a better job than what we have going on right now. It's painful to watch. Is it Lowe? Wasn't he just drafted this year? Constantly false starts, constantly holding, and constantly easily beat.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So Drake May, with what he's got for an offensive line and for wide receivers, is still putting up decent numbers. His completion percentage is tremendous, and his vision, his ability to get away from the rush, run. His runs are always, he's picking up a lot of yards.
I think the best thing about him is the fact that he holds his composure during all this chaos, and that's like a veteran. That's what veterans do.
100%.
And he's doing it at 22 years old. So I think we've seen enough skill-wise, him throwing on the run, him running, the arm strength. He had that bomb to booty. So I think he's shown enough as far as like raw natural talent. But for quarterbacks to make it to that next level, they need to remain calm. They need to think logically while chaos is going down, and he seems to do that. So
yeah, and the fact that they're 3-11, and he's still, he's not happy about it, but he's not crying about it, not whining.
And I think he gets it too. When he scored that last touchdown, he ran it in. He didn't spike it. He just threw the ball to the ref and ran right off the field. Like, you're down. Your team sucks. That's what you should do. This isn't time to celebrate.
Like he is a Brady, Even when they weren't winning, he didn't celebrate.
Yeah.
You know what? I know last week you had a little bit of a cold.
Yeah.
And I think it did something to your voice because you got a lot of bass coming out of your voice.
Is that good or bad?
Yeah. You know, what's
think I should be a lead singer somewhere? Yeah. Think I should go on tour? I might.
Oh, like, man, it's really coming through these headphones.
All right. I don't think I'm at 100% yet. Maybe that's it. So maybe it's still up in there.
We got a lot of Merry Christmases coming in. Thank you, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Yes, Jay Fields, you're absolutely right. May gets better every week. We're on, and Mac Jones, Matty P. When he's on over here, he's got a lot of good things to say.
When he's over here, not so much.
But he made it the point that Mac Jones would have done the dance in the end zone, and yes, because he actually did
100%
in Jacksonville the other day.
Okay, 100%.
Yeah,
and the thing with if they wipe out this entire coaching staff, which is it should be done, they need to bring in real coaches.
Yeah,
and hopefully that does not affect Drake May at all, which I don't think it will if they bring in real coaches.
Yeah, and I forget. I think Fields made a point up here earlier about the getting rid of the AVP and the concern of who would we bring in, like who would be the real coaches.
I don't think Drake May has done. I don't think coaching has done Drake May any good this year.
No,
all of his plays are like backyard football plays.
It's just like let him throw the ball.
It's his natural ability.
It's just natural instincts, natural ability, which he seems to have a lot of. So I don't think changing coordinators is going to change anything because this guy's like on the run and making plays. It's not like there's a set offense that he's flourishing in.
Yeah,
right.
And the on the run, it's just how infuriating is it when you hear them go, we don't have to design plays for him to run. He runs on his own.
Yeah, he runs because everything's breaking down. Like, at least give him a little bit of a head start.
Yeah, at least design a play about around your offensive line breaking down.
Yes.
Well, when you're third and a half a yard in the red zone, and you run the ball up the middle and get stuffed, and on 4th and half a yard, they're like, well, we don't call design run plays for Drake May. Yet maybe you should have on one of those plays because you ran Stevenson right up the middle twice and got stuffed both times.
It's just, I'm just
so
tired of the constant, just like you said all year, the high school offense.
It's terrible.
Like, you have this guy back there with the arm and the capability to make plays. Let him throw the ball.
Yeah, let him be an athlete.
Let him try to get that. What do you have to lose right now? Let him try to get that first down.
And his
You
tight
already
ends
stink.
His tight ends have been really good. Hooper and
Solid,
and Henry.
very solid,
Yeah.
yes.
If Henry isn't open, Hooper is.
Yep.
Yep.
And he's getting the ball to those guys. And the receivers, he's making throws to them. Maybe they're not the best balls, but these are professionals. They're supposed to make those catches.
Yeah.
If it hits you in the hands, you catch it. And a lot of these receivers don't.
Nope. And these
So-
coaches can't figure that out. That's the worst. These coaches can't figure out what we just talked about. And it's infuriating. You know? And it's right. I hear Paul, Jay, and Fieldsy here talking about Vrabel and McDaniels. We've talked about it. I don't even want to discuss it because neither of those two are going to come here. Like, there's not
No.
a shot
I don't see
out
it.
there that Vrabel is coming here. And McDaniels,
Would you take Brian Flores?
yes.
Me too.
Yep, 100%. Because then you can get a good offensive coordinator, or even a halfway decent offensive coordinator, and let him control the offense. Brian Flores will take over because he's a defensive-minded coach. And you know the other thing about Brian Flores is even in Miami
He's
before
got
they
an
kicked
edge.
him out of there,
He gives you an identity.
not even that. He pays attention to the game,
Yeah.
right? He sees the flow of the game and he adjusts. I give that to Flores. He did. That was a crappy little Miami team they had going there, and they looked pretty.
He had a raw deal there, too. I mean, they told him not to win games.
Yeah. And the issue with him getting fired was he had disagreements with the GM. It wasn't about his performance on the field.
No,
because
he was trying to win.
Right.
They didn't want him to win.
Yeah.
They wanted him to tank, and he was like, that's not what I'm here for.
Right.
So, yeah, they fired him for that, and defensively, he's been doing great everywhere he goes as a defensive coach. And
Gets guys to buy in. Huge.
Yeah.
Well, I think everything that Flores is, we thought Mayo would be, like a tough-minded, rugged, right? This guy was a player, gets people to buy in. We've seen none of that.
And the thing with Mayo, I just think he needs more time as a coordinator.
Maybe he's just not a head coach.
Right.
We've seen it with McDaniel. McDaniel is a great coordinator, not a head coach. I don't even know if this guy's a good defensive coordinator because he can't even figure out the defense.
He hasn't had that job yet.
Yeah.
They threw him from.
Well, he had that
He wasn't
unofficial job.
He wasn't really a defensive coordinator, though. He was just
Nobody really knows what he was.
Right. But even if he was,
But then to be
you still
thrown-
had Belichick there to help out.
Yeah.
So he's never been a defensive coordinator on his own.
yeah.
So
It's tough. I mean that's like someone in our field being able to strike an arc and then you call you're a
but there's other young guys out there doing it.
And that's what I want. So, Paul Connors, I think he was joking, but he brings up Mike McCarthy. And those are guys that I don't want here. I don't want guys that are proven losers over time. Mike McCarthy is
Not a big fan.
Not a big fan of him.
No.
He's not a big. I mean, what did he win? Did he win one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers? Is that the one that he won with Mike McCarthy?
Don't know.
But he's
I
got a
think
team
so.
stacked. He can't get. I take like a Mike McDaniels if he gets fired
that Dallas
in
team
Miami. But
Yeah.
that's the guy I want. Like
that Dallas team was Super Bowl or bust this year, and they've been horrendous.
yeah.
And it's him. It's not the player. They've got the talent. It's the coach. No one wants to win for that guy.
Yeah.
And in Green Bay, he had great players and guys that could lead. Rodgers was a league MVP. Dak Prescott is not a league MVP.
Nope.
He's a decent quarterback. He puts up big numbers against bad teams. But He's not elite.
We'll wait and see, because I think it's going to happen. I think this,
I
like I
hope
said
so.
to start the show, this last loss and how bad they looked to Zona coming off a bye, I think this put the nail in the coffin. That I think it could be a complete clean sweep. And we talked about this from GM, coordinators, coach. Start over.
Get rid of
As
them
soon
all.
as the season ends, start it. Get them all go.
There was a poll on a TV station. I don't know how many thousands of people voted. It was whether or not Mayo should be fired. It came in at 89% yes. So the fans are calling for it.
He just looks. He looks so
lost.
bad.
He looks lost.
And it's not even. I think the worst part and what really dooms him in everybody's eyes, probably not the right way to say that, is at the press conferences. The flip-flopping, the saying the wrong things, the throwing people under the bus, the way that he handles himself in front of the media and with the media really doomed his fate, however you say that.
He came in with such an attitude, like an arrogance, like, this is how we're going to do it. We're going to do it different. I'm going to be more transparent. Dude, you're an idiot. Like, get the hell out of here. You probably should have taken some lessons from Belichick and maybe shut your mouth a little bit because you sound like a moron.
And as a defensive coach, like, you would have expected at least the defense to look halfway decent this year. And they've been a dumpster fire.
The defense has been worse than the offense.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is scary because the offense
Swiss
is terrible.
cheese.
Yeah.
Swiss cheese. You got Geno Smith lighting them up.
Everybody. Kyler Murray.
Everybody.
Whenever they wanted to score this week, they scored.
Yeah, they move the ball whenever they want. Third downs are never a problem.
I know I said it before the show to you. Kyler Murray was not impressive at all, but he still lit up the Patriots.
So you guys both watched the game in its entirely, right?
Yeah.
When you see Kyler Murray run, you just look at the little legs. He just
freak
looks
athlete,
like,
freak athlete.
But look at him, just like, woo, 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 woo.
And
Like, it's just.
That's the only thing he has going for him. I
know.
But it's just funny when you see him run and you see those legs just start to go.
He will have a season where they make it to the playoffs and they're a scary team to play. At some point, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to develop, and he's.
Yeah.
I think they will have a season in a few years. It's going to be like, oh, watch out for them.
Chris here chimes in about Mayo being back. And Chris, I was all year long saying that no matter what, that we're stuck with him, that basically we're stuck with him because Kraft doesn't want to look like an idiot again. But this week.
No, but they look.
I
they
think
look like
after this
right
week,
now.
it changed my tune that it may actually happen.
I hope it does.
Mm-hmm. Because they have all kinds of money to spend this offseason. They can bring in it, and people are like, well, Kraft being cheap, he's got Mayo on a cheap deal. Yeah, but don't forget, this guy did pay Belichick for years as one of the highest paid coaches. So he will spend the money on a coach, and I think he realizes at this point, if I'm being cheap on my coach, this is what I get. You get what you pay for.
Yep.
So, yeah, would I love to see Mike Vrabel here? I would. Is it going to happen? No. I don't think Kraft and Vrabel are on the same page.
It would be a complete surprise if he shows up here, because I agree. I don't think he's coming here at all. If he showed up here and they named him as the coach, I'm just like, whoa, what is going on?
Yeah,
I think it'd be much easier to get an offensive coordinator here if Vrabel's here, though.
Yeah, I agree.
Because it'd be much easier to get a lot of staff here with a guy like Vrabel.
Here's the thing, guys. We've been saying all year that this is a much improved destination for people, right? And I think it's proven the next couple of weeks, all their games are flexed to 4 o'clock games. And they're flexed to 4 o'clock games because of Drake May.
Yeah.
Yeah, people want to see Drake May, and players see that, and guys like T. Higgins, and even, like I said earlier, Travis Hunter was talking about the possibility of playing with Drake May. The kid is electric. I mean, he's got us all interested. And then
Keith here asked the question, who would want to come into this situation? I think it's a hugely desirable situation. I think we said it earlier. You got money.
Yes.
You got top draft pick. You got a quarterback.
If you get Mayo out.
If they remove this entire staff.
Right.
Yeah.
And bring in, like, a Vrabel and guys like that, you'll see. I mean, I don't know what Derrick Henry just signed for in Baltimore, if it's a 1-year deal, but I mean, he played with Vrabel. Maybe he's like, I'm going over to New England. I love Vrabel. Right. You never know.
But if Mayo stays, I think that's a better question. Who are we able to bring in?
That's where we have the problem.
I think
That's going to be a big
I
problem.
don't think anyone wants to come here.
Free
Well-
agents and coaches.
Here's the thing. The offensive coordinator may be, you know what? I know Mayo is an idiot, but I'm going to go into that team
Because of the quarterback?
because of the quarterback. We're going to look like stars, and I'm going to take over. Or I'm going to now...
Yeah, Mayo gets fired, and then
Yeah.
I grab his job. Well, I don't know.
And Paul's asking if there's any college coaches up and coming. I don't think New England can afford to go the college route with a coach.
What
They
about
have
if we
to go-
steal that guy from Oregon? Would Paul like that?
He would love that.
Yeah. You would love it?
I just think
Paul would actually be escorted from the stadium and lose his tickets because he would be, inching ever so close to that coach.
Yeah.
yeah. I just don't. I don't see. I see Kraft having to go after a real coach in this league and paying someone to come here, and I don't know who that even is.
Yeah.
Because if Sean McVay a few years ago had talked about maybe leaving LA, and I would have thrown everything I had at bringing him here.
Jay Fields chimes in, what about if we steal that guy from UNC?
I keep joking about that. Imagine bringing Bill back.
Right? And Keith chiming in, Vegas is going to be taking Hunter and Prime. Yep.
No.
But those are two guys that would never...
Vegas is going to take Sanders as quarterback because they don't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
Raiders end up with the number 1 pick.
And Kenny chimes in that he heard that Vrabel and McDaniels may go to Chicago.
Oh, I wouldn't mind seeing that combination here.
Yeah. But it's not going to happen, but I think they would be highly successful in Chicago, those two. Man, we're going to have to change this to a complete Bears narrative next year if they go there and turn that program around.
What could have been.
Yeah, I know.
So the Pats are flexed to 4 o'clock.
Yep, we play
because
the
it's-
Bills at 4, the Chargers at 4, and then
The Chargers, we got moved to a Saturday.
we did? I thought we got moved to 4 o'clock. Or did I
4
misread
o'clock
that?
on Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
We got moved to a Saturday,
Yep.
for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the case they said. And it was basically because they wanted to expose Drake May.
And it's
Not
gonna,
expose in a negative way, but they wanted to give him
gonna
more of an audience.
expose Gerard Mayo, because that's going to be the only game on at that time on Saturday, and everyone's going to be like, this guy's an idiot.
So Josh Allen's going to put up 50-something points this
on that
week
defense.
against the Patriots, and Drake May is going to be, making some plays, and,
Yeah.
then
And then-
he'll get some touchdowns that get called back
Yeah.
for offsides
Yeah.
or false
Holding.
start or holding or, illegal man downfield.
Yeah.
You name it.
Nightmare.
Kenny chimes in about Gonzo and any credit. You may have to go back and watch the beginning of the show. I can't.
Yes,
I
he
can't
did-
tell you
he
that.
did
But
yeah.
I already said I can't say it again.
And I do have to say, Mike is wearing the jersey tonight. The Randy Moss battling cancer just came out. Hope everything goes well for him. Love Randy Moss.
Oh, one of my favorites.
Yep. He did post it. He beat it, or
Okay.
not beat it, but whatever the surgery
whatever you
said
want
was
to
successful.
say.
So
Yeah,
Oh,
things are
hopefully-
going
hopefully.
well, but he's still out right now. Hoping to get back on TV, but great guy, great player. Great, I
I
love
don't know if
listening
I'd say
to him.
great guy. We all loved him.
Yeah.
Well-
got a little bit of a shady past.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
One of my favorite athletes. Great guy.
We're quick to call people great guys.
Yeah, just 'cause
but,
he's- Great
He's been.
receiver.
You know what? He's been
He's
great
had a-
on TV with
Great on
ESPN.
TV.
How about
Yep.
this, guys? He's had a great second act.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, as far as we know. I
Yeah.
love Randy Moss.
His earlier days were a little shady,
Yeah.
but that's okay. We can look past that now. he's
Great
an older
guy.
guy that's doing
Yeah,
better with things.
I'd like to put him up there with like Mother Teresa, like he's
No,
just a
I'm
great
not going to
human
say
being.
that, but I do just seeing him in the last few years with all the different appearances that he makes and showing up here for the little Brady party they had at the
Yeah, he's very
Gillette and
likable. He's very likable.
It's
Yes.
just the thing that was stunk about is he didn't want anyone to know. He wanted to handle this on his own, and I believe it was Larry Fitzgerald's father who leaked
Oh,
it.
fucking Larry Fitzgerald's father. What's wrong with you? Smart up. Father Fitzgerald,
which
you
is-
idiot.
which is
then it all
Larry
came
I hate
out.
when people do that. That's what happened to Wakefield when
Yeah.
Schilling kind of released it.
People will.
Let people deal with it as they want to.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
No, that's true.
I'm just reading more comments. Jay Fields chimes in, who wasn't a dickhead at 23 to 34?
Yeah, but not all of us got arrested. Not, you know.
I mean, probably could have been a few times
I
here and
guess,
there.
I guess.
I've had my run-ins. Many run-ins.
Yeah.
Now that I have Jake working with me, I hear a little bit more and more about Michael's past. So
He's was shielded from a lot of my past as well.
I'm sure, but I'm sure he knows some things.
Yeah, but people aren't out there saying Mike Snellgrove is the best guy in the world.
I never said best
never
guy in
been
the world. I said
My second act, though.
his second act.
He's trying. He's putting in the effort.
He's come a long way.
Yeah. He's making up for past times.
You can only control yourself and your actions. That's my big thing right now, because that's it. I can only control myself and my actions, my reactions to things. I'm trying to really become a better person.
All right.
Avoid getting out of the car in traffic to yell at people.
Yeah, trying very hard. A gentleman really tested my patience the other morning.
People are idiots, so that's the problem.
Yeah, and I said, oh man, it's very hard driving in and out of town.
I don't know. I don't know how you guys do it.
No, and it's just,
I love it.
And the worst part is it drives me crazy with this, and we're getting off topic here, but people just thinking they actually know the rules of the road, and they don't. Yeah. Like people, like all the time, like when a 2-lane ends, right? You're supposed to go all the way down to the end and every other. But you have the people...
Zipper!
You have the people who refuse to let these people in because they think, oh, you should have gone way back there.
Yep.
No, that causes more traffic. This
is where we merge.
And it drives me absolutely insane. So there's just another little altercation with that. And
so, to get back on topic, they're playing Josh Allen, who is having a season. A lot of people right now are calling this the greatest season of any player.
Who are these people?
Yeah.
Who are these people?
ESPN.
Josh Allen's parents?
A lot of ESPN guys.
Dave DeShillo?
No.
Yeah. I would say Josh Allen is seriously in the running for MVP.
I think he's the clear cut.
Guys are saying he's the greatest quarterback, or the best quarterback in the league right now, having the best season of any quarterback. He's the greatest athlete in the league. He's
very good.
There's all kinds of
Well,
it's funny because
this is not me. This is stuff I'm hearing.
All these guys last year was he's washed up, he's done, he can't win. That's why I tell him go shut the hell up.
Yeah. I love Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I feel like getting rid of Stephon Diggs has really helped him.
Yep.
And he's had a great year. But you know what? The last few years he's kind of been like relapsing a little bit, right?
Yeah.
He had a few good years. He had 2 good years, maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, but he'd still make mistakes.
Yeah.
And he would still do the stupid force it downfield.
Yeah.
And like we said, I mean, geez, we say this every other week here. He is taking the open pass. He's taking the open lane.
Yeah.
He doesn't, if it's a 4-yard pass, he's making that pass, not trying to squeeze it downfield to Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. It's a completely different, I mean, this Bills-Lions game last week, what a game. What a masterclass. I give it to him. Like, he is having the best season of his life.
Yeah.
Let's see if it continues.
Yep.
Let's see.
Paul says he will not beat out Saquon Barkley. No one's even talking about Saquon Barkley right now. The last couple of weeks. He's
been injured and having bad games. His stock has gone down.
Yeah, and Josh Allen has been a freak the last 2 weeks, but all season long.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks have been ridiculous what he's doing.
And Josh Allen's a quarterback. They want to give it to him.
It is a quarterback-driven league.
And the other thing about this game we're going to look at next week is, who do we always compare? Drake May to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that's probably why it got flexed to 425, so that they can do more talking about that. I don't know if
they heard the clip. They heard the clip.
Yeah, they've been watching us.
They heard the reel that I put out comparing Josh Allen.
Is this a Tony Romo game or is this a Tom Brady game? Is it Fox or CBS?
I don't think it would be Fox, right? It would be CBS.
Yeah.
I don't know. They might want to get Brady in there to talk about Josh Allen and Drake May.
And I agree, Paul. Josh Allen does always crap himself in the pants, but the MVP is a regular season.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
Has he won anything?
His coach screwed them against Kansas City a couple of years ago, the 13-second game. That should have been won by Buffalo, and all they had to do was kick the ball, a squib kick, to run time off the clock, and they kicked it out of the back of the end zone. That's a coaching decision, not a Josh Allen decision. And that was probably one of Josh Allen's better years. And then he started to, like we had talked about, he kind of regressed for a couple of years. But this year, it's a different Josh Allen. There's just a different feel to him.
So I just want to bring this up because David here brings this up. We've talked about this before. Everyone keeps saying Drake May really needs to bulk up. Drake May and Josh Allen are basically the same size. Allen's 10 more pounds. They're basically the same height. They're the same build. They're the same player.
And Drake May is young. He's 22.
Yeah.
So naturally, by the age of 25, he's going to have about 20 pounds on him.
And I don't know if before you say, he's got to bulk up, there's a million clips out there of Josh Allen with his shirt off. He is not a well-built man.
He's no Tony Furtado. He's no Tony Furtado.
He's no Metcalf out there.
Yeah, he's just big.
He's like a Patrick Mahomes, and I get that. As a quarterback, I think you want to have a little bit of that. You need that protection in the mid-system. Yeah. But I thought that came with abs. Because when you look at boxing, they're not fat. They have abs to protect getting beaten up.
Yeah. So I haven't seen Josh Allen naked, nor do I intend to, but I think Drake May is fine. I mean,
well,
he's
like
22.
you said, he's 22.
He's 22. He's going to fill out. I mean, he's still got baby fat. I mean, Jesus. Not Mac Jones baby
22.
fat. Jeez. That was terrible.
No. I mean, you look at the combine pictures of Tom Brady, and you're like, wow. And, it's just, he's 22. He's going to get bigger, and this kid's going to be great if they can build something for him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's the building block. They're building everything on top of him right now because they have nothing else.
So to go around the rest of the Week 15 in the NFL, Fields had chimed in earlier about he'd love to see a Detroit and Bills Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think you just saw it. I think now with the loss of Montgomery, that defense is
suspect.
That defense can't stop anybody. I don't think the Lions are going to make it there.
Yeah.
And they couldn't replace Aiden Hutchinson, and they just now Montgomery. You're talking about a stud on defense, a stud on offense. Can they still win? Yeah, the NFC is wide open. It's not great. The 49ers are done. Dallas is not around. Philadelphia really looks good right now, but
Philadelphia looks really good. They
do
really good in that Steelers game.
And I'm not going to take anything away from Philly, but can they fail in the playoffs? Of course they can.
I didn't realize Rams could get hot.
Yeah. They're a team that is getting hot.
Yeah,
They've won, I think, 4 in a row now.
Yeah.
They have all their pieces getting back healthy. They're not relying on
Rams.
Yeah.
They're not relying on just one wide receiver. They have a 2 guys out there.
Yeah.
They have a running back. They have a quarterback who's done it. They have a solid defense.
Good defense.
The Rams are a team that are getting hot at the right time. And it's scary.
Green Bay is another team that when they get into the playoffs, if they get into the playoffs, they're a team that can beat anybody. Jordan Love is a guy that he can win those games.
Yep.
And this is the time of year he gets hot, and he is.
Minnesota, I'm not as confident with them with Sam Darnold, but they have a great team. They got a lot of good things put together for possibly next year when McCarthy comes back from injury.
And don't count out the Bucs. Mike Evans, this is also the time of year Mike Evans turns it on.
Yeah. No, and Baker Mayfield is he's just been a burst of energy for that team since they signed him.
Yeah.
So the NFC is wide open. Is Detroit the best team in the NFC? Probably.
Healthy? Yes. Right
now. They're looking a little suspect in their coaching. I mean, Campbell likes to be this, aggressive, I'm going for it, I'm this and that. Well, you cost your team the game by kicking an onside kick with 12 minutes left. No coach in any league, in the history of any football, would have onside kicked it with 12 minutes left in a game.
They will never win the Super Bowl with Dan Campbell as a coach. I said this last year when they went for it, when they said instead of kicking the field goal, they went for it. They lost. This year, the stupid moves. He's too Madden. He's fun to watch. His teams are exciting. But when you get into the playoffs and you need to win and you need to make the right plays, he will always risk.
You have to take points. When you're in the playoffs, you take the points, you take the safe plays until you can't take the safe plays anymore. And you put yourself in position to lose games by going for all this shit with all this time left on the clock. You got to believe in your team, believe in your defense. They came within 6 points, and if he hadn't done the onside kick, that gave the Bills a touchdown.
I think this should have been the coach's corner this week.
Yeah, put the jacket on.
It's just frustrating because I do want to see Detroit do well, but when I'm watching that and I'm 12 minutes left, what are you doing? And the guy picks up the onside kick and almost takes it in for a touchdown. And then the next play they do score. So, I mean, Buffalo you get a touchdown, then you do the onside kick, and then you give that touchdown right back. So, it's
we can tell you're frustrated.
It's shitty for a Detroit team that looks so good and should have had a better performance against Buffalo, and Buffalo's defense looks a little suspect too. All the talk about Josh Allen and all the scoring he's doing, but I mean, what if Drake May goes out and puts up 40 points against them this week?
No, it won't happen.
No, because we'll get penalties on every touchdown.
No,
but it's just.
All right, so let's move on to something else here.
Let's do it. All right.
Michael Penix is now the starter of my Falcons.
How do you feel about that?
I'm pretty excited because I was hoping Kirk Cousins would return to form as the season went along. He has not, so I'm happy.
He kind of gave up a little bit. It feels like
he didn't
give up.
He's still trying his heart out there, but he doesn't have it anymore. He's capped.
Didn't he have a game where he threw for 500 yards?
Yeah, earlier in the season against the Bucs,
and then he just kind of fell apart after that. Yeah.
So that was it. That was the last gasp of the
last hurrah.
But
I love Michael Penix.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, this is the perfect time to do it. You have a decent team. They're 7-7. They're really not going to make any noise in the playoffs right now. They have some suspect defensive backs back there that are just. I mean, you looked at that Vikings game. The blind ones back there. So
did you know that the Atlanta Falcons are the first team in history to put out a blind defensive backs?
Fill me in.
So they're running.
They showed some reels of.
They're running down the field, right? The wide receiver, I believe it was Justin Jefferson, cuts left. The defensive back cuts right. The defensive back turns around and still runs the wrong direction, and then I think falls, and then gets up, and it's just like, what were you even looking at?
It's like the Jalen Book of defense.
It was one of those joke things, the Falcons have been employing blind defensive backs this year.
So they have all the talent to help Penix. He's sat now for 15 weeks. He's got a great, hopefully, knowledge of the game, of game speed.
Hopefully he's learned something sitting there.
We have the protection where you're going to run with Robinson, run with Algier. Hopefully they get Pitts into it. They have some great wide receivers back there. This is just... And I'm not looking for anything from him. What I want to see out of him is what we're seeing out of Drake May right now. Just the confidence of just handling it, not losing his mind,
just getting him some playing time.
It. So
seeing what you have for next year.
Yeah.
And, maybe you look at what he's doing and say, all right, going into the draft or into free agency, this is what we need to add. And you know what? This kid's going to be fine with the offense that we have. Their defense is suspect. So Atlanta has something cooking, maybe, if this kid shows something.
Now I know why he's full of energy tonight.
It's the Red Bull.
That Red Bull Vodka. I just looked over. It's gone.
That 30-ounce Red Bull. God, he'll be up all night.
He went Grey Goose tonight. And I'm like, man, David's just on fire, just going tonight. I look and I go, oh, his drink's gone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing left. Oh.
Yeah, and Kamborowicz, I get it why people aren't sold on Penix, but mean,
It's tough to say stuff like that though, because he just got drafted this year. He hasn't had a chance to play.
Yeah.
All these other rookie quarterbacks have been playing. Bo Nix, Drake May, those guys are playing. He's been sitting, and probably should have gotten a chance sooner because.
Well, you're getting 4 games out of him.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, you signed Cousins to a big deal.
Yep.
Yeah, and that was a huge mistake, but
and you're right,
they have to live with.
David. I mean, Penix did have an extended college career, just like
Yeah,
Bo Nix
I
did.
And he's 25,
25.
so...
Yep.
Yeah, he's a veteran right now.
Yeah, so he's a little bit older, so that should help him. Right?
So I'm looking forward to it because it's the next chapter in the Falcons. No
Yeah.
matter how Cousins did, it was only a 1-2 year experiment.
Yeah, and he throws a beautiful left-handed spiral.
Oh yeah,
it's
him
a
to
thing
Drake
of
London
beauty.
down the field is going to be great.
Thing of beauty.
Yep.
Oh,
So
We will see.
looking forward
cool
to
to
it.
watch.
4 weeks of it.
Yeah. One last little thing I wanted to talk about is Patrick Mahomes getting hurt. Chiefs 13-1. They haven't reached 30 points yet. This doesn't look good.
No,
They're
this team is all defense. It's all
They
defense.
are. And who's the defensive coordinator there? He's had a great run, especially against he used to get after Brady pretty good.
With the Giants, right? He was with the Giants, too.
Yeah, there's a few teams that he's been with that he's just been, and I can't think of the guy's name either.
I'll look it up. Keep going with
The
you.
guy with a little stash.
But his defenses have been great in this league for years, and he's keeping Kansas City winning games because their offense is not very good. But Patrick Mahomes is a winner.
Spagnola.
Spagnola.
Spags. Yep.
So he's a Tom Coughlin guy. He's one of
Haven't
his.
heard that name in a while.
No, he's off that branch though. But yeah, their defense. I mean, signing Chris Jones last year and making sure he was still with that team was huge. But they just seemed to get rid of Snead.
Yep.
Didn't even need him. Like, it doesn't show.
Didn't need him.
Nope. And offensively though, it's bad. And Mahomes, yeah, they say he's hurt, but this is like typical Mahomes. He hurts his ankle all the time. Whether or not he plays next week, I don't know, but probably will.
Paul Connors really hates Patrick Mahomes, so I'm not even going to entertain your comments here tonight.
Patrick Mahomes is a winner. No
Yeah.
matter what you think of the guy, you don't like him, the guy wins. It seems like every game this year for them has come down to like the last drive. And when he's on the last drive, you're you can't stop him.
No.
He's going to get that last second field goal, and
It's going to hit the upright, and it's going to fall in
It's going to
it's
bounce
going
right
to fall in. Yeah.
every time.
So the only thing I think this year, I still think Josh Allen's going to go
Well,
into.
At some point, the Chiefs are going to have to score points, and they're not scoring points this year. So if you're playing the Bills,
Hey, why do they have to score points?
because the Bills are going to score 30 points.
Okay.
And I think
They're going to score 35 points.
So they already
And
lost to the Bills.
I know a lot of
Yeah.
talk was the Bills need home field advantage, but I don't think so with this Josh Allen. I think he can go into Kansas City and win a game. So we'll see. I don't think Kansas City is. I don't think they have it this year.
We'll see. And Jay Fields chimes in about the refs and the fluke calls. So everybody's hyper-focused on the refs in Kansas City. These calls are across the field, across the NFL with teams.
The refs are bad in
You
general.
know, and I get it. Around here, the Kansas City hate is real. It's a huge narrative, and the refs, But you guys forget that the Patriots had the refs in their pockets for years. So what's good for you is good for everybody else.
Well, it was the same narrative then. Was the Patriot haters were like, oh, the refs are making calls for the Patriots, and the refs are just bad in general.
Yep.
I mean, there was a penalty against the Patriots where they said the offensive lineman was lined up too far off the ball, and then when they showed the replay, even the announcers are like, really? Pretty damn close. And you just took away a great play from Drake May for a stupid penalty like that.
Refs
And
are on the
that's-
take.
And that's been a problem this whole year, is the referees just suck. And, as a Pats fan, it hurts us because anytime we get a good play, it seems like they're throwing a flag. So,
all right, and that's the NFL week. There's more stuff I wanted, but Dave went so in depth into the Detroit Lions.
But unfortunately,
and
it was a 16-ounce Red Bull and not an 8-ounce Red Bull. So it is now 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted to touch a few little things on the NBA. We had the Bucks win the NBA Cup. Big
Which
deal.
is a joke because the Bucks suck. Oh, sorry.
You're not having Red Bull Vodka.
Yeah, that's it.
But everyone's talking about the ratings being down. And what they forget, and I guess people want to brush this under the rug, is the NBA, for the most part, is young kids watching, right? It's a young kids game. Kids stream. They watch it on their phones.
They're watching it on IG.
They watch it on everything.
They're watching highlights.
Like, that's how the NBA is consumed. So when they talk about the ratings going down, what they don't realize is if you look online, their numbers and followers on Instagram and YouTube
through the roof, right?
Double the NFL.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Double. Their Instagram followers and real watchers is double the NFL.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the NBA ratings are down. To me, it doesn't.
No,
people talk about the NBA. People love the NBA.
And it's like, this is what happened, and I'm really going to date myself here to before I was even alive. But at one time they said, baseball's dying now, but one time they said baseball was dead because there was no ratings anymore in radio, because they didn't know how to count the ratings on TV yet. This is the same thing. Once they figure out and can count and formulate the ratings, they're going to be like, oh, wow, the NBA is blowing everybody out of the water because of social media.
And you think about jersey sales. That might be another way to kind of think about ratings. If people are buying jerseys...
Top selling jerseys as NBA jerseys by far. Okay. One, because they're cheaper, but two, you look in the schools, right? And this is where you want to take it from, because that is what's consuming all sports products for the most part. They're all wearing NBA jerseys.
They're all wearing Cater jerseys.
I just got to go by our viewers. When we're talking NFL, we got everyone wanting to watch. We switch over to NBA.
Yeah, we have more of an NFL crowd.
Yeah, 100%. There are a few things I wanted to talk about.
I know. Well, let's Hey, the Bucks, they won that in-season tournament. Woo, yay.
Yeah, well,
good for them. Celtics, they sucked. They lost to Atlanta and couldn't win that cup.
Atlanta made it pretty far, but...
Yeah, but the Celtics are still the best team in the league, and they just don't show up for shit teams like that, which frustrates the hell out of people.
We'll see. We got the Bulls doubleheader. I don't know. The Celtics haven't played. I've forgotten about the Celtics. They've played, in 2 weeks now, they've played 5 games. So
yeah, they had that stretch of 5 games in 7 nights, and it feels like they haven't played since.
They're not fun to bet on because they're like a minus 2,000 every time you bet on them. It's, Celtics who?
And I get
the playoffs.
Paul Connors chimes in. He wants to like basketball, but it's hard. And they do. They have a 3-point problem in the NBA right now. And they're coming up with all these different concoctor ideas. And I got it. It's very simple how you stop the 3-point problem. Outside of the 3-point line, all they have to do is say, you can go back to hand checking. That's it.
Yeah.
Once you get inside the 3-point line, you can't touch them like the rules are. But outside the 3-point line, you can hand check. And what I mean by hand check is you can just keep your hand on the guy.
Yeah. You can't get your shot off.
You can't get your shot off. It's so simple. I'm like, I don't understand how they haven't figured this out. They're talking about expanding the court, taking away the 3 points on the side, moving the line back. I'm like, what are you guys doing?
Why don't they start putting dots on the court for
That's what I mean.
That's a 4-point shot, and this is a 3.5-point shot. I mean, come on, really?
All they have to do is
this is the shit we're gonna talk about. You've had the same court for all these years, Come on.
I just shut off his mic.
I just can't. It's like trying to come up with ways to stop them from shooting 3-pointers. I don't know. Let them play more physical like they used to.
Exactly, and that's what I mean with your hand check. That's all you need, because it's very hard if you're, like you said, trying to bounce out and get your shot off, or even try to dribble penetrate, if someone's allowed to just put your hand on, now they could feel how your body's going. And when you take a shot, their hand's there. It's an instant, oh wow, guys aren't shooting three-pointers anymore.
But if the game's not struggling and it's all the old people that care, the young people are really into it. They're into the higher scores. They're into the three-point shots. That's kind of how the game's played now.
Yeah.
And so to the NBA, Kenny Allman brings in streaming ratings count towards network ratings. 100% they do not. They 100% do not count. They're only television ratings. What they're basing their facts off of what David Haggerty brings on here, is the NBA is down 48% TV ratings. TV ratings, they always follow it with.
Yeah.
And you're right, it is, because that's as soon as people started to being able to start really streaming things on their phones and being able to watch games and being able to consume the product right here.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the NBA has taken a hit at all.
Yeah.
To me, it doesn't. Because, like, I go to gyms and people are wearing shirts. It doesn't feel like it's... baseball feels like nobody's watching.
Yeah.
Like NBA, I feel like people are watching.
Yeah.
People are talking about it, too.
I might have to wear my Cornet shirt.
Yeah. I think
Maybe
you
at work
should.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the overall three, and like Jay Fields brings in Saturday when they broke a record with 75 missed three-pointers. I agree. They're chucking up, and a lot of these things, what makes it worse is they're wide open three-pointers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But that's it. It's very simple, Adam Silver. Let them hand check outside the three-point line.
But you also have, like, just random guys coming off the bench and just chucking up threes.
Because it's analytic driven.
Yeah. So,
You know?
this is the NBA we're stuck with. If you don't like it, don't watch.
For now,
It's
yep.
the 3 points. That's what, I mean, the Celtics have been chucking up 3-pointers for years, and they're going to keep doing it. They won a championship last year.
Yeah.
Keep on going.
Do you want to do your coach's corner?
We can. It's
All
up
right.
to you.
All right, I got to pee.
You're
There's not a lot
you're
to talk
anxious
about
to go.
with the Bruins. I mean,
Well, that's the wrong intro.
it is, but it seemed like, very spicy.
Oh, man.
All right. Without knocking anything over.
Now, the Coach's Corner with David DeShulo.
With our glasses.
And Jason Gaborowitz, starting with the hockey. Not many people watching hockey either. They're not. It's a niche audience, but the one thing that we've talked about that the NHL is doing is they're actually trying. They're making some great commercials.
And they have a good product. We don't. Locally, we have shit to watch. There is no fun watching. I don't know if you've been watching, but
I mean, hey, they had a nice comeback win against the Flames, and then they had a 5-2 or 5-3 win against the Canucks. They are league wide. They're climbing back up the charts again. They're
for what though?
I
That's the problem. To be a mediocre team to get into the playoffs for who? Ownership, Don Sweeney to say, well, we made the playoffs again, so you can get bounced in the first round because you have like 3 talented players that can score goals, and on the nights when they don't score, you either get shut out or you score 1 goal. And then the nights where they're scoring a bunch of goals, you win the game 5-1 or 5-3 or whatever. Yeah, you can't live that way.
Dave, to me, I'd rather watch a team that is going to make the playoffs. If they keep playing the way that they're playing right now, they're going to make the playoffs. And once you make the playoffs, there's a chance. Because I'd rather see this team in the playoffs than not see them at all. They're not going to draft anybody, Dave. So losing does nothing for this team.
They can't draft. They've proved that. And they're free agents. I mean, their big money free agent was Lindholm. He's, a half a point per game?
Yeah.
That's not an $8-9 million player. This guy should be a point to a point and a half per game.
Kenny disagrees with me, though. He said he would rather watch the Patriots train whack.
And that's the thing. Like, we feel a little bit of optimism with Drake May.
Yeah.
You look at the Bruins roster. Which player do you look at and go, "Oh, this kid's going to be great"? Nobody.
They're stuck.
Not Swayman.
Yeah, they're stuck right
Not
now.
any of them. Their talent is so low, and they win games because they play hard.
Yeah.
But when you get into the playoffs, playing hard doesn't matter. When you play a team that is so much more talented than you, they play Florida in the first round of the playoffs.
But we've
they
said this
don't win a
before,
game.
Dave. All it takes is your goalie to get hot. We've said this over
Not-
and over again. if your goalie
When you
can
have a
get hot,
decent team, this team in front of these two goalies, one night they're on, two nights they're so bad. I mean, they get blown out. So going into the playoffs, this team, they won't win a game in the playoffs. They'll get swept in the first round, no matter who they play. They're that bad.
yeah.
And they have no future either. You look at the prospects and you're like, there is none. Matt Patra is playing in Providence and he's playing great. Let's leave him in Providence because that's what we do with young players.
Yeah, maybe he can go to Drama's card show.
Yeah.
He's in Rhode Island. Yeah.
To get into
Maybe.
Jason, he talks here how they're winning 2 games. They got 37 points. They're 3 points behind Florida. They're right there to go to the number 5 spot. It's so jumbled in the
But-
East right now. Other than your top 2 teams.
I know, because Florida had a stretch where they weren't playing well.
Yeah.
But this is a team that, when they get into the playoffs, they're a juggernaut.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you, Dave. All I'm saying is I'd rather watch this Bruins compete a little bit the way that they are, stay in the playoff run. Maybe you get a good matchup. Maybe Swayman gets hot. I know this is a lot of maybes, but you never know.
Here's the problem with getting into the playoffs is now you've got the ownership and you've got Sweeney fans saying, well, he's made the playoffs again.
I don't think.
But he's been so terrible at GM. He's brought in nobody good. He's spent all kinds of money on players that aren't as good as their money is. He's got no trade clauses for everyone on the team. He hasn't been able to draft anyone, so he has no talent. So this team has no future. But they made the playoffs.
I don't see any
And he keeps his job.
Sweeney supporters ever.
There are people out there that think, well, he made the playoffs every year since he's been there.
Paul wants to know: do you think Swayman's a cancer in the locker room, especially after that holdout?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I thought he was one of the more liked guys in that locker room. And
Shows how much we know.
But then after
He
the,
made a couple great commercials with Marshawn.
well, yeah, I mean,
He's a great guy. Just like Randy Moss.
I think Marchand is on his team, supports him, but I honestly don't know. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what's going on with the team in general. They're just, the guys they're paying. I looked at Charlie Coyle's stat line last night. Zeros across the board.
Kind of like your man. That's how you fell in love with Luke Cornett.
Yeah, zeros across the board that night. Yeah. 18 minutes of ice time, no shots on net, no
Frustrating.
nothing.
I know.
You're paying the guy, $5-6 million a year. He's supposed to be a, 40-50 point guy. You might see 30 out of him this year. It's terrible. And this is Sweeney's doing.
It is terrible.
And you watch other teams like Edmonton, they don't have all their money is invested in 2 players, yet they still put a Stanley Cup Finals team out there. And we talk about, well, we're going to balance the money so we have a better all-around team. Yeah, where's that gotten you?
Jay Fields wants to blow the whole thing up.
I do too. I'm done with Sweeney. I'm done with Neely. I'm done with this team. Trade every one of these
See, the
players.
thing is, a lot of you guys here in New England are used to your teams winning. I root for a team that doesn't win and constantly blows
No.
things up. And I would much rather have my team be like
No,
these
I'm
New
used
England
to
teams that are constantly in it every year. You don't want to keep blowing it up.
I'm used to the Bruins being bad, or not bad, but good, but not good enough to win in the playoffs. every year of my friggin' life except for 2011 when they actually.
But they're a
pulled
team
off.
that's been in it every year. Like you guys are spoiled. Like Dave sucks the energy right out of the air. Like
Who was that, Tina?
no, Kenny said that. You don't want your team to be blowing it up. You want your team to keep the core what they have. They have a winning team. They have a team that's in the playoffs. You just need someone to be able to add the right pieces to put them over the top. When you start blowing things up,
Okay.
it gets really bad to watch.
Bring in new management.
You
then.
know, these Patriots have been awful to watch. They got lucky to draft Drake May. All it took them was to make the wrong draft pick right there and to maybe not have Drake May. What if Jaden Daniels went 1 and May went 2nd and we got Williams? And then you're constantly in this turmoil of it just suck.
Or what if there are only 2 quarterbacks in this year's draft?
Right.
You know?
Like, you don't want to be that. You have a team right now that has pieces. You have supposedly one of the best players in the NHL. Put the pieces
Where?
around him. Dave, you hate Pasternak.
I
know
don't
that,
hate him.
But he's one of
He's
the
got
best
11
players.
goals this
He's
year.
having a tough year right now. I'm saying, overall, Dave, he's one of the best players in the NHL. He really is. Stop it. They need to put people around this. They need
I
to
know.
figure it
he
out.
hasn't
That's
had help
the problem.
in years, and everyone they bring in doesn't help. Lindholm was supposed to be his guy, and it hasn't worked out. He's got 11 goals this year, and half of them are overtime goals, which means he's not playing well 5-on-5.
And to get back to this, Jason, you talk about the Bruins can't put together a championship caliber team. It's been way too long, so blow it up. What makes you think they're going to get anybody by blowing it up? If they can't put a championship caliber team together like this, what makes you think blowing it up is going to get any better? It's just going to be a long period of suck.
See, that's the thing. My opinion of blowing it up is just the front office. Get rid of the front office.
Yeah.
Everyone in there, they're scouts, everything. Because, I mean, Sweeney is not completely to blame for the draft picks. He's got scouts that are telling him, "Oh, take this guy," or "We watch this guy a lot. We like him."
Now you're defending Sweeney.
No,
So we keep Sweeney?
no.
We just get rid of those guys.
Well, I mean, Sweeney's done a great job with giving out no trade clauses. I think he must have a record for no trade clauses.
I will put this, much like the Patriots, they need to clean staff. They need to clean their staff out.
I would love to see it. And there are players on this Bruins team that I would love to keep, but at this point, if a team is making a good offer, bye-bye. I'll get rid of anyone on this team right now except for Mason Lohrei.
And that wraps up the Coach's Corner.
All right.
And now, the Coach's Corner.
Do you want to talk a little bit of MLB before we get off the air?
A little bit of MLB. Red Sox really disappointing their fan base. We went in thinking we had a chance at Juan Soto. Yankees missed out on Juan Soto. They turned that into Max Fried, Devin Williams, Cody Bellinger. I actually think the Yankees are in a better situation with those 3 as opposed to Juan Soto. Because you bring back Juan Soto, you still have a few holes. So they actually did a good job, and I don't think they're done yet.
Saved all that money on Soto. And
I was going to say, can we say Dave was right yet?
What was I right about?
We were all hoped up that they were going to spend money with Soto, and Mr. Positive over here was...
Yeah.
They're not going to do.
No, they made the trade for Garrett
Just like
Crochet.
Kenny says, you sucked the air right out of the room.
The trade for Garrett Crochet I like, but it's been followed up with nothing. So
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. And you got Teoscar Hernandez out there, who your team needs, a right-handed power bat. You lost Tyler O'Neill, 31 homers in 112 games, and you're not going to replace him with another right-handed power bat. Like, this isn't going the way we thought. We're hearing Bregman. We were hoping, before the offseason started, that if Tyler O'Neill came back, he was the 4th move.
Yeah.
Garrett Crochet, that's a good move, and nothing else really has happened.
And that you're hearing now that the Nolan
Arenado.
Thank you. Talk is heating up because he just blocked a trade to Houston. I don't hate the guy, but he's not what's going to put you over the edge right now. He's past his years.
Yeah. He hit 16 homers last year. He is a pull fly ball hitter, so his bat would play at Fenway. But if you bring him in, now we got to move Devers to first or DH. It just doesn't really feel like they have a direction here. I would simply sign Teoscar Hernandez, and if you don't want to pay big bucks for Corbin Burns, it doesn't look like the Dodgers are signing Walker Buehler, so I'd go after him.
100%.
I thought for sure the Dodgers would re-sign him, but I'd go after. Now you can go Crochet, Walker Buehler, Tanner Houck, Bayo. There's something there, right?
100%. And Buehler, the thing about Buehler, I think that the Dodgers want him to operate out of the bullpen.
He's had 2 Tommy Johns.
Yeah.
So.
And out of the bullpen, I mean, he had his best postseason coming out of the bullpen as a starter. He's lost some juice, right. And I think that's what's holding him back in LA.
Yeah. So if you can make him a starter and grab him on I'm assuming he'll sign a 1-year deal for cheap money. Grab him just to kind of get it going a little bit. I don't know.
But is Bregman even good anymore?
Yes. Bregman is not the Alex Bregman that he once
like 3
was.
years
but
ago?
Bregman is still solid. Bregman would help this team out.
260, 25 homers.
Yeah.
That's Bregman
But
now.
you still need a piece.
Yeah.
And Hernandez is that piece.
Yeah, Hernandez.
You get Bregman and you bring in Hernandez.
Then I'd like to pick up a Bregman.
Then we got a great I don't want to say great, but we have a good 1 through 9.
Yeah. It's You would have no easy outs.
I don't see them doing anything.
I heard Bregman was going to go for about 6 years and $180 million.
They got the money. I don't care.
They're not going to sign him.
But I'm just saying, they have the money.
Like I said, 3 years ago, Bregman, maybe he gets that contract.
Well,
now,
he was an MVP candidate a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, and they're talking about maybe moving him to second base. They don't know what the hell they're doing.
No, and you don't give a guy that big of a contract to not know what you're doing.
Yeah, and then Devers has to move off third, but he doesn't want to. This sounds like a nightmare.
You know what they're going to do is Bregman's going to sign somewhere else. And they're going to be, well, we offered him this much.
Yeah.
Bullshit. You didn't offer anything. You guys suck. You guys don't want to pay the money to put a winning team on the field. It's obvious. We're 4 years into it now?
2021, I think they made the ALCS. So yeah,
John Henry he's just checked out. It's all about the money he's making. He doesn't care about the winning anymore. When he first took over the team, it was we got to win. No matter what, we're gonna spend like the Yankees do, and we're winning championships.
Same with Bobby Kraft.
Yep. And now we're like,
similar.
We've won all these championships. Okay. You guys are spoiled fans. Screw yourselves. We're not spending the money anymore. And here we are, hoping that we're going to get this guy, that guy. No, it's not happening. They traded for a pitcher who had 1 full year as a starter, and they got him on cheap money for a couple more years. That's why he's here. And they gave up every prospect they had to get him. So, a lot of really good ones.
All right, they gave him
4 really good ones.
But you know what? What
are you shutting me off again?
No, I didn't shut you off.
if Garrett Crochet pitches to his potential and Max Fried pitches to his potential, Garrett Crochet's better.
Yes.
Garrett Crochet is a lights out pitcher, so it's a trade you got to make.
Yep.
You know, but now you got to piggyback that with another move.
Yeah.
Well, and I agree with that. My point was the money. Like Crochet, they got him on cheap money.
Yeah.
For a couple of years because of this trade.
So now go and sign Teoscar Hernandez and go sign Walker Buehler.
Right. You were willing to spend $700 million.
Yeah, they weren't willing to spend that.
Come on, don't contradict yourself. You knew they weren't willing.
Yeah.
You didn't hear the sarcasm.
They're trying to save face.
They were going to spend that $700 million on one guy. You can't just throw a couple.
That's what the Yankees did. Yeah. Since we didn't spend the $700 million, now we can go out and grab a few pieces.
Grab some probably better to add, 3 or 4 pieces than one guy.
Right. Well, the Yankees have more holes than people think, and more holes than Matty P thinks. So I think that ultimately ended up
I was going to say,
well
according to Matt,
no holes.
There's no holes.
Yeah.
Well,
all right.
What a show, guys.
That's it.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
And we'll see you guys in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we may see you guys on New Year's. We'll see. So,
yeah.
All right, check you later.
Bye.